The United States is under attack. Are you ready for the next one? Whether it is a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, or an explosion that tore through an Ohio metals plant on Monday, scattering molten metal and debris that rained down on neighbors, or if it's a substation that has been blasted by gunfire or caught fire some kind of way and caused a power outage, or millions of birds being culled, cows being destroyed. Whatever it is, America is under attack, and we need to be preparing right now, today. Sorry for the late video, you guys, but I told you I would bring you breaking news when I get it. I'm just seeing this, however. Maybe this happened about an hour or two ago. Blast at Ohio factory scatters molten debris, starts fire, 14 injured. Ohio again? Really? I will make sure I insert pictures in here. Firefighters stand around the rubble at the Schumann and Company metals plant after an explosion at a factory in Bedford, Ohio. This was today. How insane is that we are still dealing with things happening in Ohio? An explosion tore through an Ohio metals plant on Monday, scattering molten metal and debris that rained down on neighboring buildings and injuring at least 14 people, mostly with burns. The blast sent smoke billowing into the sky that could be seen for miles around damaged factory about 15 miles, 24 kilometers southeast of Cleveland. Fire departments from all throughout Northeast Ohio came out because the explosion of an unknown origin at the Schumann and Company metals plant in Bedford drew a blaze, like a huge blast, you guys. Again, I apologize for coming to you late. You know, I've been sick all day long with the lupus flare up or my fibromyalgia. Something was flaring up and I just could not get myself together. I'm still a little down, but I'm here for you guys. So the Oakwood Fire Department captain addressed the media on scene, saying 13 people were taken to the hospital, many of them with burn wounds, and one more was being treated on site. At least one was in critical condition and one was pulled from the debris. All of those injured were on site, the falling debris having spared those at neighboring businesses. How scary is that? I'm telling you, 1 minute you're living your life and the next an emergency is happening. The fire chief did say that the people were mostly walking wounded. That is, I can't even imagine seeing that. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of people were in shock of hearing that, for one, seeing it, and what do you do? Scrambling for safety. The fire chief also goes on to say that he had inspected the site before and found it a safe place to be, except for the fact that it is a foundry. You are dealing with molten metal, so there's always an inherent danger. The cause was unknown, of course, and damage to the plant was significant. We will work alongside investigators in their search for answers as part of the commitment to Northeast Ohio, where we have been operating for more than 100 years. Schumann and Company, which produces copper, brass, and bronze alloy. An owner at a neighboring business said he heard a large explosion and that within a second or two, it sounded like large amounts of debris were hitting the roof. Things were falling off the walls, falling off shelves. We went out front and there was like smoldering rocks and molten metal in the yard. Tons and tons of smoke. Fire billowing out of the building across the street. Another witness said a brick wall enclosing the property was obliterated, literally blasted, gone. A beam flew across the street. The other beam flew across the street and blew out our windows, said one business owner. The explosion was about 70 miles northwest of East Palestine. Can you believe that? And if you don't know why I'm saying, that short of a distance from East Palestine, that is where the train just literally ran off the tracks and toxic chemicals were spilled, and then the train company decided that they would burn off those chemicals, and now the majority of the town is getting sick. But yet they said today in a news conference that the results had come back in and they found absolutely nothing. I don't know who's testing what, but people don't just one day be fine and the next they're walking around with rashes, blisters. Their animals are dying. Something is happening in Ohio. I'm not sure what it is, but it just keeps happening in Ohio. Wherever you are, stay as safe as possible. You guys, we gotta get prepared for the unknown, because a lot of things seem to be under attack as of lately. Now, I'm not saying that the train situation in East Palestine was an attack, but what I am saying, what if something hacked the system? What if something caused it to jump the tracks? Because word on the street there is that the train was already on fire before it even derailed. Now, with this situation, with the metals raining from the sky, basically, who knows what started that explosion? But something is in the midst, and we need to be preparing as much as we possibly can. Stock up on your water, stock up on your food, stock up on your medications, stock up on your self-defense items, your security. Your safety is a priority. Okay, anything could happen, man-made or not, anything could happen. And now we're dealing with the situation with Biden going over to Ukraine and pretty much pledging us to Ukraine that we will be by their side to the very end. That to me sounds like we're going to be out there in the forefront doing this fighting. We might as well be, because all of our weapons are being sent there, and they want to blast it out on the media, try to make it seem like everybody is okay with it. Everybody is not okay with it. You're just not talking about the people who don't agree with all that is happening right now. So again, this story was about an explosion of unknown origin that tore through an Ohio metals plant on Monday, scattering molten metal and debris raining down on neighbors, workers, buildings, etc. 14 people were injured. 13 were taken to the hospital. Basically, they were the walking injured, as if it was a war scene. And if we keep going at the rate we're going with Ukraine, it's going to be a war scene. So y'all need to be getting prepared while these stores are full. Well, most of them are full. Because when them supplies stop from China, who's teaming up with Russia right now and pledging their self to Russia, like we're pledging ourselves to Ukraine. People are picking sides. I'm on the side of right, and I'm on the side of my family. And for me and for us, that means we have to protect ourselves. You have to protect yourself. And I hope that I'm looking you straight in the eye in the camera, because I got a comment that really annoyed the heck out of me. Oh, when you're talking, could you please look straight into the camera? Because when you look sideways, it throws me off. Then stop looking and just listen to my words. And I'm not being rude or mean about it, but stop. Pay attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth. We are in trouble. We need to be preparing. We need to be growing our own food. We need to figure out how to grow our food on the inside in case we can't go outside because of chemicals.